She found out on a Wednesday. Not from him, from his sister, who let it slip by accident during a phone call that was supposed to be about Christmas arrangements. 6 years. His sister had known for 6 years. And then, one by one, as the days that followed revealed what had been concealed, she learned who else had known. His mother, his brother, his best friend from university who had been best man at their wedding. Every single one of them had sat across from her at dinner tables, had asked how she was, had smiled. Her name is Fiona, and what she discovered was not just a betrayal by one person. It was a conspiracy of silence maintained by an entire family across 6 years of her life. Fiona and her husband Daniel had been together for 9 years, married for 6. By any external measure, the marriage was solid. Not spectacular, but solid. Functional. The kind of marriage that other people described as stable. They had a flat they owned jointly in the city. They had shared friends, shared routines, shared plans for where they would be in 10 years. Daniel worked in architecture. He traveled occasionally for site visits and client meetings, maybe 2 or 3 times a month, sometimes for 2 or 3 days a stretch. Fiona was at the secondary school teacher. Her schedule was fixed. His was not. She had noticed things over the years. Small things. The kind of things that in isolation mean nothing. A phone left face down on a table. An explanation for an absence that contained one detail more than it needed. A conversation that stopped when she entered a room, resumed too quickly when she left. She had filed each one away, not in suspicion, just in the background. The quiet accumulation of things she had not yet been given reason to act on. She trusted him. More to the point, she trusted his family. Daniel had a second property, a flat in a different part of the city, bought 4 years ago, held in a company name that Fiona had never heard of. Joanna had found out about it when she helped Daniel move some furniture there 2 years after he bought it. She had asked him what it was for. He had told her it was an investment property, a rental. She had believed him, or had chosen to. But the woman who had been staying in that flat was not a tenant. Her name was Kira. She was 31. She had been with Daniel in various configurations of secrecy for the better part of 5 years. The flat had been bought, in part, to give that relationship somewhere to exist without Fiona seeing it. After the call ended, Fiona sat for a long time without moving. Then she opened her laptop, and she began to make a list. Not of what she felt, of what she knew, and of what she still needed to find out. She called Daniel's brother, Marcus, the following morning. She did not tell him what Joanna had said. She asked him simply whether he had ever met anyone called Kira. There was a pause of almost 4 seconds before he answered. He said, "Fiona, I think you need to talk to Daniel," which was not a denial. Marcus had known. He had met Kira once at a family lunch that had not included Fiona, 18 months into the relationship. He had said nothing. 6 years. Marcus had known for almost 4 of them. She called Daniel's mother, Patricia, 2 days later. Patricia answered warmly, so it was lovely to hear from her. Asked after Fiona's parents. Fiona asked whether she knew Kira's surname. The warmth left the call immediately. Patricia said, "Daniel told us it was complicated. He said he was going to sort it out. We didn't want to interfere." Patricia had known since year 2. And then there was Tom. Tom, who had been Daniel's best friend since university, who had given the speech at their wedding, the speech that described Daniel as the most loyal man he knew. Tom, who had met Kira at Daniel's birthday dinner 4 years ago, who had shaken Fiona's hand at their front door the following Christmas, who had known for 4 years and had looked her in the eye every time. Fiona did not confront Daniel the night she found out, or the night after. She waited 9 days. She used those 9 days carefully. She spoke to a solicitor. She took photographs of every document in the flat she could access, mortgage, joint account statements, the insurance policy that listed her as beneficiary. She asked the solicitor what her position was and what it could be. On day 9, she made dinner. She put on the table. She poured 2 glasses of wine. She waited for him to sit down. Then she said, "I know about the flat. I know about Kira. I know how long it has been. And I know that your mother, your brother, your sister, and Tom have all known for years and said nothing to me." She said it once, clearly, and then she stopped talking. Daniel did not deny it. He said something about it being complicated.
about not wanting to hurt her, about meaning to end it. Fiona let him finish. Then she said, "I don't need you to explain it. I needed you not to do it. Those are different things, and it is too late for the first one to matter." She left the table. She went to bed. He slept on the sofa. She had made her decisions in those 9 days. She did not need the conversation to make them. The divorce was filed within a month. Because she had moved quickly, and because her solicitor had advised her well, she was in a strong position from the beginning. The flat, purchased during the marriage regardless of how it was structured, was a marital asset. The courts agreed. The financial settlement took 8 months to finalize. It was not everything she might have wanted, but it was enough. More than enough, as it turned out, for what came next. What came next was the harder question. Not what to do about Daniel. That had been answered, but what to do about the family. Joanna called 3 times in the weeks after the confrontation. Fiona did not answer. The call stopped. Marcus sent a long message explaining that he had been in an impossible position and had not known what the right thing was. Fiona read it. She wrote back 2 words, "You knew." She did not respond again. Patricia wrote a letter, actual paper, in an envelope, saying that she hoped Fiona could understand that a mother's first loyalty had to be to her child. Fiona read it twice. She kept it. She did not reply. Tom she dealt with differently. Tom had friends in common with Fiona. Professional contacts. People who would ask Fiona questions about why she was no longer in contact with him. She told those people the truth. Not dramatically. Not with anger. Simply and factually. Tom knew my husband was having a 5-year affair. He knew for 4 years. He came to my home during that time and said nothing. She did not campaign against Tom. She did not send messages or make accusations. She simply told the truth to anyone who asked. And in the professional and social world they shared, the truth was sufficient. There's a version of this story that focuses on Daniel, on the affair, the flat, the other woman, the years of deception. That version is true, but it is not the version Fiona returns to. The version she returns to begins with the Christmas call, with Joanna's 4-second pause, with the realization that the betrayal had never been only one person's. 6 years is a long time to maintain a silence. It requires active choices, not passive ones. Every Christmas dinner, every birthday, every phone call where Fiona asked how things were, and they said, "Fine, good," nothing to report. What she told me, when I asked what had taken her the longest to understand, was this. She said, "The hardest part was not the anger. Anger was easy. The hardest part was working out who I had actually been to all of them for 6 years." She paused. She said, "I think the answer is someone it was more convenient not to tell the truth to. And that is a very specific kind of invisible. She has a different life now, a smaller circle. She says it is the right size. If this story stayed with you, there are more below. And if something in it felt familiar, you don't have to make sense of it alone."